Down here outside the sea terminal overlooking the Tower of Refuge, Minister Baker, I thought a catch up. We're going to go along the prom anyway. Well, like many other people, I'm inconvenienced. I'm sure maybe other people are massively. Things seem to be snarling up all over the place. You still stand by that this is the best option?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, more pain for gain, I understand that.
Yeah.
But what can you tell anybody about, how's it all going?
Yeah, so I know we're making really good progress. Obviously, the big issue, which you've alluded to, Paul, is making the prom one way, and that does clearly inconvenience people, and we've got very limited junctions off the prom at the moment as well, with Summerhill and Broadway, Church Road Marina being closed. So yes, there's a lot of inconvenience for people and traffic being displaced around the rest of Douglas, but in terms of what we're trying to achieve, the key thing was to give the contractor a chance to get on with the job, to open up the site, free up the constraints. I mean, they had an incredible number of constraints that they were to operate under: maintaining two-way traffic, restricted working hours, noise restrictions. It made it very, very challenging for them, and once the opportunity came to think again about how we're tackling this, with the recognition there was no meaningful tourist season this year, we looked at it and said, okay, how do we make sure we make the best use of the time we've got available? And secondly, how do we make sure that when it comes to the next tourist season, the hoteliers and the restaurateurs and the businesses have a completely free summer to make the best of it?
Well, let's push us a bit further. I mean, in your thinking there, would it be best to shut the whole prom completely? I mean, just literally get on with it. If you're going to do it in the shorter period, maybe.
Well, I mean, the options were all looked at, and I think if you did shut the whole prom completely, then you'd have
I'm
more
saying
of
that's a good idea, by the way.
No, you'd have even more disruption.
Yeah.
So I think we've come up with a sensible solution. The contractor is absolutely committed to driving this forward, and the guys that are on and girls that are on the ground are working really, really hard. So it's 60 odd hours a week. So there's a lot of activity going on.
You've taken parts back. Remember we talked about this last time. Is that why you're doing Summerhill now? Is that why you're doing Marina and that sort of thing? Are they part of your plans, or is that still with them?
So the DOI parts are really the side roads around, for example, Regent Street, and the roads that are discrete pieces of work in their own right. So the main thoroughfares like Summerhill and Broadway, etc., they are fully part of Aldin's project.
So why Summerhill though? It just seemed that a bridge too far for a lot of people, when that was probably the only reason to go along the prom for lots of people, to get up into Onken. Now you're having to send them right up and further.
Well, we are, and I mean, I drive that way every day that I leave the sea terminal. I do it deliberately to see what progress is being made, and you get diverted around Port Jack, and it's a short diversion. But the reality is there's major services going in at the bottom of Summerhill, gas and water. The only way you can put those sort of pipes in and the associated ducting and things like that is to dig up the junction and close the junction, and it's a building site.
Have you had people going around checking on all the other hot spots, places that maybe they can change the phasing of lights or do more cones and more alterations?
So we've had a number of different things, Paul, since we first introduced the traffic changes. Obviously, a lot of reaction to the changes at St Ninians with the left turn.
You're sticking with that, are you?
Yeah. I mean, we're now. Don't forget, Paul, these are only temporary changes through the period of the school summer holiday, whilst Broadway and Summerhill are shut. So, the 8th of September, when Broadway and Summerhill will reopen, the traffic orders on St Ninians, for example, are that's the end of those. Mm-hmm. So, we've iterated things a number of times. So you've seen the left turn box extended. You've seen the forward stop box for the cyclists. In terms of governors,
that's own petition, that, by the way, hasn't it?
Oh yeah, but
Oh, you're not bothered. Okay.
You've got to be clear about what you're trying to achieve here. Yeah. We can't keep all the people happy all the time. So once we've got some clarity about what we need to do, we need to push on with it. But we do need to modify where appropriate. So we did make a couple of changes to St Ninians. The reality, though, is that if we got traffic faster through St Ninians, they would just block up around Woodburn Road and the terrace. So,
but a bus lane for what? How many? 12 an hour or something?
There's about 12 an hour is fairly
Did it really need a bus lane then?
I think it was okay to do that. It's helped the bus service to stay on time. But my point is that you accelerate traffic through there, and it just backs up further down into town, with more risk of them taking shortcuts through residential streets. So the bottom line is it's the volume of traffic coming off the prom that's the issue, because there's no southbound traffic, and northbound volumes are much reduced. But also up at Governor's, the Governor's Dip junction. That's been.
Do you ever go on that one?
Yeah, I do. I come in that way because it's important to see how it's working.
And coming in's okay. It's when you're top of going up, trying to get out of Douglas is quite tricky.
So it is a difficulty, and we've made another change just in the last couple of days around the road markings on as you exit northbound out of Governor's Dip onto the roundabout. We found that. People were exiting onto the roundabout too quickly, with a potential risk of impacting people on the roundabout.
Correct. Yeah.
So there's now giveaway markings on the road and a slight narrowing of with paint to direct traffic where to approach that junction. Again, it's about trying to educate people and guide their behaviour. So there was concerns expressed about that. We've listened. We've acted.
So back to this pain and gain thing.
Yeah.
You're still on target to open up Summerhill and Broadway and all these things as per you.
Absolutely. Yep. 8th of September. That's the.
Will it still be one way that when it opens up though? It was still keen to one way system.
So it'll be two way on the top end of the prom, but from Broadway, from the Sea Tunnel to Broadway will still be one way.
How long's that going to go on for?
I haven't got the precise project plan.
Months?
Yeah.
So it's that long time before we're back to two-way.
Yes, it is. But what we will find gradually is, as the project moves more towards completion, we'll see areas becoming completed and released. So it'll be a gradual thing.
You go from zero to hero then? Do you think you'll go that way?
That's for others.
Will we be looking back on this time next year? August, April is still the date, isn't it?
Yeah.
Still.
Still going for that. So you talk about zeros and heroes. They're other people's words. I mean, I just want to get the job done, and I'm in here to make a difference, to do a job. The prom scheme is the number one priority, but we've got a lot of other things going on in DOI and my other responsibilities as well. But it's about delivering, and my predecessor, Minister Harmer, was brave enough to start this. I'm going to finish it.
Brave enough to start it?
Yeah, because the easy thing to do would have been to keep talking and to keep moaning about the poor condition of the prom. It had been talked about for something like 10 years before.
Why is he still not there then if it was all going so well? I mean, come on, that was a move, wasn't it?
You'd have to ask the Chief Minister about why he made it a change. But I'm sure Minister Harmer's very happy in his role as Minister of Policy and Reform, which of course was the gap that needed filling.
Well, he said he wanted to see it through on interviews with me.
I think he's very happy.
But are you happy anyway?
Yeah.
You're content, and you're obviously getting a lot of flack, I'm sure.
I am, but the only way not to get any flack is not to do anything. And it's very easy in the Isle of Man to get into a role, sit there comfortably, achieve absolutely nothing, whether you're a politician, whether you're an officer. That's the easy route. I'm not in that space. I'm here to get things done. That's why I stood back in 2016, because I was fed up of hearing about all the things that were wrong with the Isle of Man and everybody being negative, and anything that was put forward positively, others jumping on it and criticising. So I thought I could be part of the solution. I think I've proven so far that I can be part of that, and I'm going to push forward on the prom and get that delivered. And answer to your question is, in a year's time, will we be looking back on this as a job well done? I believe we will, but it's for others to judge.